Taters! You know, potatoes. Today, we're going to be using these to make Nikujyaga. Thanks for coming back to Cooking with Sappy. Let's get started. Potatoes. Who doesn't love potatoes? Potatoes are one of the main ingredients in Nikujyaga. And Nikujyaga just means potatoes and meat. That's half of the ingredients right there. So let's check it out.
What you're going to need is 60 milliliters or 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 60 milliliters or 4 tablespoons of mirin, 45 milliliters or 3 tablespoons of Ryourishu, 100 grams of sugar, 250 grams of beef, 3 potatoes, 1 carrot, and 1 onion. Alright, so let's get started. First, we're going to start with our potatoes, and all we're going to do is just dice them up. Try to get them as uniform as possible. Try to get those cubes as evenly cut as possible. This way they cook at the same time, and we don't have anything that's too soft or too hard. Also, you'll notice that I have my skins on. A lot of people in Japan do like to take the skins off, but this is just a personal preference. Skins on, skins off. It's just up to you. Okay, now that we're finishing up our potatoes, you can see I have them in this bowl because what we want to do now is rinse off our potatoes. Remember, potatoes are high in starch, so if we don't wash them off, then they're going to be pretty starchy when we cook our food. So they are rinsed off, and next we're going to go into our onions. Onions are pretty easy too, just dice those up. Try to keep them about the same size as your potatoes. That way, again, everything's going to be cooking nice and evenly when we start to cook everything. So here you are. You can see my potatoes and my onions are about the same size, about the same thickness. That's really going to help you keep everything nice and good when you're cooking. Alright, now that we're done with our onions, we're going to move on to our carrot. As you can see, a Japanese carrot has a lot more girth than our Western carrots do. So first, what we're going to do is lop off the end, throw it in the sink, see you later. And what we're going to do is just turn our carrot while we're cutting. This is called an oblique cut. This way we're going to have some nice big chunks. Everything's going to be a little bit uneven, but it's thick, and we're going to have more surface area for the carrot to cook. This way we're going to have a nice uniform cook, and it's going to be nice and tender by the time we're done making our Nikujyaga. Alright, so let's just throw those carrots into this colander with the onions, and next what we're going to move on to is our meat. Now again, the meat's pretty important here. What we want is beef, and we want it to be nice and thinly cut, probably about 1 millimeter thick. Again, having a high fat content will make our beef much more tender when we're cooking it in this Nikujyaga dish. Now, you don't have to use beef. A lot of people in different areas of Japan do use thinly sliced pork. That is okay too, but today we are going to use beef. So now what we need is our pot. Now that we've got our pot, we're just going to put some olive oil into it. Get this nice and hot and start cooking the meat that I showed you earlier. So we're just going to put this in there. That's it. What we want to do is first fry up the meat and make sure it browns and we have a nice color to it. Leaving it in there a little bit longer, get some nice texture on it, make it a little bit crispy. That'll make it that much better with your flavor. So just go ahead, get your spatula, or for me, I'm going to take my saibashi, remember the cooking chopsticks, and I'm just going to cook this meat. Just move it around. Again, remember that it is really thin and it does have a high fat content, so it's easy to stick together. Just make sure you keep working at this meat so it doesn't stick together, because if it sticks together, then the meat is not going to be as tender when you start cooking it. So let's just do this for a little bit, and presto. We've got our nice browned meat. Again, you can leave it in there for a little bit longer if you want some more texture on that meat. And what I'm doing is pushing all the meat to one side, because what we're going to do next is add our vegetables. So there we go, the meat's nice on the one side. And first, I'm going to add our taters. That's right, our potatoes just on here. And I like to keep my vegetables as separated as I can while I'm cooking. You can do whatever you want. You can throw everything in all at once, whatever you want. Just make sure that your meat and your vegetables are separated. This way, everything will cook together very nicely. So let's just mix this up a little bit. And then what we're going to do after that is add our soy sauce, sake, and mirin, and our sugar. All right, so first what you want to do, take your soy sauce and just drizzle it on top. And after that, we're going to take our mirin and put that on next. And after that, we're just going to take our Ryourishu or cooking sake and just put that on top too. It's that simple. Next, what I'm going to do is just take the sugar, and what you're going to do, just put that on top too. We're going to be adding some water later, and it's going to be steaming, so don't worry so much if it's just on top. Lastly, we have our 100 milliliters of water. Put that on top, and then there we go. All of it's in there. I'm going to take my saibashi again and just mix it up just a little bit. And after that, we're just going to play the waiting game. So let's put our lid back on and let's wait for a while. All right, so this is about 30 minutes later. And as you can see, it's nice and steamy. I like to use this Dutch oven because it keeps a lot of the moisture in. The water doesn't evaporate, so then we don't have to worry about all of our potatoes and vegetables getting dried out. And as you can see, our potatoes are nice and soft, which means we are good to go. You can cook this for a while longer if you want. It just depends on how soft you want your vegetables. Me, I can put my chopsticks right through it, so it's good enough for me. So next, all we have to do is just take your ladle and serve. So here we go. We've got some potatoes and carrots, some more potatoes and carrots, and we got some onions and meat over here too. Yeah, I don't like to skimp out on the meat over here. So there we go. And I'm just gonna get one more ladle of meat, and that should do it. This is a pretty big bowl, so that's a lot of food for me. And there you go. This is Nikujyaga. That's what it should look like. Now, one more thing you can do to spruce it up, to give it a little color, is I'm gonna put some snap peas on this as well. As you can see before, there's not much color to it. So the snap peas do give it a little bit more of a vibrant look, and they're good. So if you can find them, get them. A lot of the food in Japan is seasonal too, so snap peas don't usually come out unless it's around autumn or winter time. And that's what it looks like with the snap peas. Again, raw or boiled. I like mine raw, so they're a little crispy. There you go.
All right, so that's Nikujyaga. It's pretty simple, it's pretty easy. I think everything looks pretty tender. Let's give it a try. Yeah, that's good. It's a little sweet, so if you don't like sweet things, just reduce the sugar or even the mirin just a little bit, and you'll be good. All right, until next time, bye.
If you like this video and you want to do more Japanese home cooking, please remember to like this video and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, keep cooking.